I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, August the 4th, 2015. A 27-year-old Israeli woman was moderately injured last night when a Molotov cocktail was thrown at the car she was driving in, setting it ablaze in Jerusalem near Beit Hanina. The woman, named as Imbar Azrak, was evacuated to Hadassah Medical Center with burns to her body but in stable condition. A passerby who stopped to help was treated for smoke inhalation, and another person was lightly injured when Azrak's car rolled back and hit another vehicle. Police were searching for the suspects. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the young woman in the hospital today, where he referred to the terror attack in the Arab village of Duma last week. Netanyahu said, "A few days ago, I visited the injured brother of the baby Ali, who died in a terror attack that targeted Arabs. Today, I visited Imbar, a young woman who was injured from a firebomb by terrorists targeting Jews." He said, "Terrorism is terrorism is terrorism. Our policy is zero tolerance for terrorism, regardless of background. We condemn it and fight it in equal measure." Netanyahu noted that the international community had joined him in condemning the Duma attack, and that he expects the same condemnation when it is directed towards terror against Jews. While the search for those responsible for the terror attack in Duma continues, Israel's security agency, the Shin Bet, arrested Jewish far-right extremist Meir Ettinger. Ettinger, who is the grandson of the late Rabbi Meir Kahane, was arrested in the city of Tzfat last night. Officials didn't say he was a suspect in the Duma attack, but rather that Ettinger was being questioned regarding information that could perhaps lead to those suspects. Jewish extremists are suspected to have been responsible for the firebombing of two homes in Duma that claimed the life of a Palestinian baby and critically injured his parents and brother. French news agency AFP said Shin Bet officials told them Ettinger was being interrogated, quote, because of his activities in a Jewish extremist organization. According to Haaretz, the Shin Bet had linked Ettinger to the arson last month at the Church of the Multiplication of the Loaves and Fishes in northern Israel, adding that Ettinger tops the Shin Bet's list of Israel's most wanted Jewish suspects. And a group of Jewish and Muslim religious leaders gathered at Tel HaShomer Hospital yesterday to pray for the wounded victims of the Duma attack. The joint prayer was an initiative of former Israeli government minister Rabbi Michael Melchior, who now leads the Mosaic Center for Interreligious Cooperation, together with Jerusalem's chief Rabbi Aryeh Stern and founders of the Tzohar Rabbinical Association, Rabbi Rafi Feuerstein and Rabbi David Stav. They were joined by Sheikh Abdullah Nimar Darwish, founder of the Islamic movement in Israel and head of the Adam Center for Interfaith Dialogue. Stern restated at the gathering that such evil acts as what happened in Duma will never be allowed to represent any legitimate expression of religion. U.S. President Barack Obama met with leaders of the American Jewish community at the White House today to discuss the Iran nuclear deal. The White House stated that this meeting follows similar ones Obama held with Jewish community leaders back in April. Earlier today, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu also addressed the American Jewish community on the Iran nuclear deal via a live webcast, which was convened by the Jewish Federations of North America and the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations. JBS aired that live address and will replay the webcast and analysis of the Prime Minister's remarks tonight at 9 o'clock and again at midnight Eastern Time. The 72nd anniversary of the Jewish uprising at the Treblinka death camp was commemorated on Sunday in Poland. Among those in attendance, the last surviving prisoner of the Nazi extermination camp, Samuel Willenberg. Approximately 200 prisoners managed to escape the camp during the revolt. Hundreds of others were killed in the attempt. As a result of the uprising, the Nazis began shutting down the camp. It stopped functioning completely in November of 1943. The ceremony on Sunday was organized by Poland's Jewish Historical Institute. According to a study by the Public Religion Research Institute, New York, Boston, and Miami are the three most Jewish cities per capita in the U.S., with 8% of New York City residents being Jewish, 6% of Bostonians, and 5% in Miami. Ranked by state, New York and New Jersey top the list, each with 6% of residents being Jewish, followed by Massachusetts with 5% and Maryland with 3%. And turning now to our programming for tonight, Tuesday, August the 4th. More programs from the 2015 American Jewish Committee's Global Forum in Washington, beginning at 7:30 tonight, with Yesh Atid Party leader Yair Lapid, who lays out his vision for the future of the State of Israel. And at 8 o'clock, The Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg and the Wall Street Journal's Bret Stephens join Konstanty Gebhardt of the European Council on Foreign Relations, Simon Rodan Ben Zaken of the American Jewish Committee in Paris, and moderator Deirdre Berger of AJC Berlin, to ask whether European Jewry has a future. At 9 o'clock, a replay of the live telecast from earlier today with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu on the Iranian nuclear deal, followed by analysis of his remarks on JBS. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, highlights from Day 8 of the 2015 Maccabi Games in Berlin. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, August the 4th, 2015. I'm Teisha Bader.